Okay, so yes, I'm not Tavares he is not able to come today. But I promised him that I would do my best and try to present for him. So we're gonna and then the next person, we have a video of her as well, so she'll follow after me. I'm jumping in second line because I just have another meeting that I have to quickly do. Global News wants to give us some airspace. I know. So I have one of the co-organizers with me, and we have to do a pre-taping. So good luck to us. They actually, because I asked for two people, they actually gave us an extended segment. So woo-hoo, hopefully, I don't know. So let's see what kind of awareness we can do. And that's the purpose why we're here too, right? We're trying to get everybody to listen, and hopefully over time more people will listen. All right. So we are up and ready. And does the remote work? Uh-oh, we've lost the remote. Oh, here's the remote in the obvious spot at the podium. Okay, so this is male victims of abuse. This is the system's coercive control and victimization. Why do we need change? And then I'm presenting on behalf of Tavares from ChildWatch Bermuda. It's really unfortunate that he was not able to make it. So according to, look at that, men on strike. I think I read this from before. So why are men boycotting marriage and fatherhood? So according to Edward, it's because it's becoming a more anti-male society. So why should men participate in a system that seems to be stacked against them? You know, there are many more dropping out of college, leaving the workforce. Men are also avoiding marriage and fatherhood at alarming rates. So they're acting defensively or rashly in response to the lack of incentives of society, offering them to be responsible fathers, husbands, and providers. And so according to somebodyhood, treatment and post divorce and separation. So what they're saying is that for post-separation divorce, most fathers are relegated to visitor status. They have dropped from parenting to visitors, if that. Others are not, right? Fathers are given visitations on weekends. And I can see somebody raising their hand like, hello, that's me, right? And it's bi-weekly. So imagine seeing your child every day and then all of a sudden you've lost all privileges, right? There's occasional Wednesdays, amounting to roughly about 48 days per calendar year. This is what's going on in Bermuda, and I'm sure we can see this in other countries. Oops, sorry, my apologies. Boy, this is challenging. So according to some stats in Bermuda, and what I can also do is send out the slides to everybody with his permission. But if you look at the percentages of where are the child custody, who gets it, it's not too much of a great surprise. 85% for mother's sole custody. We have 14% who's unknown, 1% to grandparents. All right. And now it's not working. Oh, here we go. So prior to 2002, the affiliation to unwed fathers is that fathers could not take mothers to court. Mothers, that's a bit of an issue. Mothers were the only ones who could actually bring court proceedings, right? So you can already see the issues. There were no DNA testing was granted. So what are fathers supposed to do, right? Court and social services only took the mother's word. Many fathers were paying for child support, but the children were not theirs, right? Even one child for example, one child had 6 men paying for child support for the same child. Biologically, is that possible? No, but she's very rich. So ChildWatch advocated in 2002 the Children's Amendment Act in 2002, which actually passed and it legitimized unwed fathers. So discrimination against fathers, against married and unmarried fathers. So status did not matter. So according to ACEs, as many people know, it's the adverse child experiences. We go with a coercive control. You can see the citations, which then leads to parental alienation syndrome, where many men experience this. There's also parental gatekeeping And then also the child is now held hostage. And so what does it look like in terms of the police, the family services, and the legal system for fathers in Bermuda? So the police do not enforce court visitation orders. I don't know how that goes in Canada. Do they enforce it? Shocker, nope. So family court only enforces child support orders, money. Courts do not enforce court order for visitation with children. Fathers are demeaned and disenfranchised. And when mothers give up custody of their rights, what happens? It doesn't automatically revert to fathers, right? Fathers are not given child custody. Children is given up to the foster care or adoption. And often fathers are not allowed to see their children once in foster care. You can just imagine that kind of life in Bermuda, according to Edward. So coercive control in the system. So why do they do this? Well, women's groups, they're lobbying for more laws against fathers when they win custody without any investigation. And then usually it's based on one-sided claims and phone calls. Oh, and then of course, when you get, this is how you gain government and corporate funding. So they go hand in hand. Sorry about that. So, and then they also get funding from politicians and courts. Yeah. And then this is what happens. Fathers, they send fathers threatening and harassing letters. Okay, that was fun. All right. Oh, and then I think something just, and then they also give false appearances and data. And you heard that this morning in terms of the voices of men. And then fathers, and they also keep fathers from their children, and which leads to alienation, child alienation. So what is, according to a university study, I think it's the university study, 8 out of 10 male victims scores indicated that there was post-traumatic stress disorder as a clinical concern. 43% of them, their male victims distress scores high enough to actually suppress immune system. So you can see the health issues and the ramifications of that. Coercion and the system. Thank you. And what does it look like? And Denise Hines, who actually was our keynote. So legal and administration abuse. It's legal and administration abuse because it's intimate. What is that? Intimate abuse is a form of coercive control that appears to be particularly salient to male victims. LA abuse is used when a partner uses the police, social services, and the courts to coerce a man in complying with their demands, whatever that might be. So LA abuse is also possible when men as victims are largely invisible by police, by professionals working with domestic violence. LA abuse also has been associated with more symptoms of PTSD, depression in male victims, and is also associated with problematic behavior in their children. And so here are some statistics and looking at, what comes out. So you see depression is leading as number one. And then these are how many men have actually mentioned these issues. And you can see the top 3, depression, helpless or feeling lonely, anxiety, and anxiousness and stress is number 4. So in continuing, what are the various experiences? Oh, I had the mic down. I apologize. I forgot I had a mic in my hand. I just realized that. My apologies. So here are some stats also in terms of what happened, what are experienced, according to male victims. So for example, I don't need to read them all out, but 53% believe that the courts are continuing that level of abuse. So it continues on, or 58% actually have to, the contact order is broken, right? And also 48% use the police to continue and is used to continue the abuse. So according to Dr. Linda Nelson, here is a meta-analysis of 60 studies, and this is what they found in terms of post-separation. There is a presumption of shared parenting. However, when there is shared parenting, and you see some states actually in the United States are doing this, you see there's less conflicts among the parents. It results in better outcomes for children. It allows fathers 35% minimum to 50% time with their children. you see the benefits. So we have to see, you know, depending on where the courts are, right, what that assumption is. And so I hope I did some justice for, I mean, obviously I didn't do the greatest of jobs, but I really do hope that if you're interested in his work, we put his email here. You can easily email him, or if you want, you can email me and I can connect you. So it's all about connections and finding out what's going on in different countries. Thank you very much, everybody.